Welcome back to first chapter. Alright, so we did the book quest, and I tired myself out reading a bunch of stuff. It's a new day. That kind of took it out of me a little bit. Reading always does in Trails. Extensive reading. Granted, it's a little bit easier than having to try to voice like Estelle for a few hours straight. I just stole that person's tomato. Screw these people. Just take that tomato. Acerbic tomato. It'll come in handy later. I don't remember where I'm going. We're supposed to meet with the factory chief. I honestly forgot where his office is. Maybe it says, made arrangements in Zeiss to speak with the factory chief. Maybe I have to talk to reception down at the lobby. Yep. Oh, you were the ones with Tina before, no? Welcome to the Central Factory. Can I help you? We are from the Bracer Guild. We'd like to meet with the factory head if we may. Estelle reached into her pouch, paused for dramatic effect, then flourished the introduction note to meet the factory chief. Joshua looked stoic and tried not to roll his eyes. I see. Just a moment, please. Hazel used the intercom, keeping one wary eye on Estelle all the while. Sir, I'm terribly sorry to bother you during your... Yes, sir. The people from the Bracer Guild are... Yes, sir. Right away. Thank you for waiting. Factory Chief Murdoch will see you now. His office is upstairs on the second floor. Nice! I didn't think he'd see us so quickly. Let's not keep him waiting. Turns out I was in the right place the entire time. Hey, I've been waiting for you two. Estelle and Joshua, right? Yes, it's nice to meet you, sir. We're sorry to bother you at work like this. No, don't worry yourselves about that. The Bracer Guild, and Cassius in particular, have done a great deal for me in the past. It would be rude of me not to welcome his children. Huh? You know Dad? I guess you might say that. He was my benefactor. It's no exaggeration to say that the Central Factory produces the finest orbments in the land. Naturally, the confrontations over our craft have never really stopped. Whenever we had a problem, we'd always contact the Relent branch and have them come over. I see. That explains all the business trips then. And now my benefactor's kids come to visit me themselves. So what can I do for you? I'm happy to help. Thanks, sir. It's kind of a long story. Joshua and Estelle explained to Murdoch about the events surrounding the mysterious Black Orbment. I see. Well then, would you mind if I had a look at this orbment? Sure, no problem. Estelle produced the Black Orbment and handed it to the factory chief. Now this certainly is an oddity. It's obviously made from modern materials, but the caliber isn't inscribed anywhere. Caliber? You mean the numbers that are carved into the orbment's frame? Exactly. It's almost unheard of for an orbment to be produced without them. That's not just in Liberl either. Most other nations on the continent are the same way. It's been a tradition dating back to when the orbments were first invented 50 years ago. Huh, you don't say. Estelle took out her combat orbment and eyeballed it suspiciously. You're right. There are numbers right there. Crazy. You mean to say that you never noticed in all this time? Oh, you hush. But seriously, is it really that strange for one to have no caliber on it? It's pretty much a part of the production process, and that goes for any Orbal factory. It's as if this one were a prototype or something. If so, I'd imagine it was made to entertain at birthday parties, if you take my meaning. So, less with the sweet and awesome, more with the stabby hurdy. Got it. Of course, I can't say for certain without looking inside. What is it? Ugh, I can't find the maintenance cover. And now that I really look at it, it has no seams to it at all. How the hell was this thing made? I don't see any way to check out the inside of it. Oh man, would it be possible to cut it open? That might work, yes. But I'd hate to just break something belonging to Cassius like that. Oh, okay. Maybe we should let that professor handle it. Oh, right, the one mentioned in the note. Yeah, he should be able to tell something. There was a note that was included with the Orbment. Estelle showed Murdoch the note that was in the package for Cassius. Please ask Professor R to do an analysis. You wouldn't happen to know who this Professor R is, would you? Well, let me think. From the letter R and the people that Cassius knew, it must be Professor Russell. I thought so. Who's Professor Russell? And wait a second, how do you know this guy? I don't, but I know of him. He's known as the person who brought Orbal technology to Liberl in the first place. Hey, you know your stuff. As I'm sure you know, Orbments were invented by Professor Epstein, and Professor Russell was one of his disciples. 40 years ago, he brought the Orbments and his knowledge back, and that's why Liberl is a technologically advanced nation. You might say that he was the father of the Orbal Revolution. Wow, now that is impressive. Man, I had no idea that Dad knew anyone like that. Even so, it worries me a little that you'll be letting the old prof handle this Orbment. We have no idea what it is, really. Huh? Well, how to put this? For good or ill, he's a certified genius. When he gets an idea for a new invention in his head, there's just no telling what he'll do. Much like that time he was developing the first Orbal airship. What's with the far-off look? I guess a lot's happened. Sorry. I'm sure that he'll be able to figure this thing out. Go find him and ask him about it. It can't hurt. Thanks, Chief. Where should we go to find him? Hold on a moment. Murdoch flipped the switch on the intercom. Testing, testing. Oh, good. I actually have been looking for you. Sorry to bother you, but can you come here? Alright, I'll be waiting. What? Did you just call the professor or something? Oh, no. He actually has a private workshop in town. He has all the latest technology at his disposal, so I know he can figure out something about that thing. Wow, he really must be a genius. Wait, then who did you call? His granddaughter. She works here at the factory. I'm sure the child will be happy to show you the way. The child? Excuse me? What? You? Oh, Estelle and Joshua? You mean that you know each other? Yeah, we only just met a little while ago, though. So then, I guess that she's the professor's granddaughter? Exactly. Tita, I've been talking with Estelle and Joshua here. I'd like for you to show them the way to your house. To see Grandpa? Okay, I will. I appreciate it. Oh yes, if you learned anything new, I'd love it if you came back and told me. As an engineer, I'm extremely curious to know more about this. Sure thing. If you'll excuse us then. Hey, I didn't know you'd be coming. And you're even the granddaughter of the famous professor. It's no wonder you're so comfortable with Orbments. Oh, come on. I'm still just studying under my grandpa. Oh, by the way, do you bracers have business with my grandpa? Well, sort of. The situation is kind of complicated. We can explain everything once we see your grandfather. Oh, okay. My house is in the southwest corner of town. Get off the escalator and go straight until you reach the south entrance. Then turn to the west, and there it is. Got it. Well, let's get moving. Cool. Yes, Tita is in fact Tita Russell, the famous professor's granddaughter. And hopefully, if I did everything correct, and you bothered to watch it in the big introductory to the Trail series video, which is, at this point, when I sit down to play this, has not actually been recorded yet, but I'll get to it. In that video, I was sure to write into the script to introduce Professor Russell, as well as the other disciples of Professor Epstein. Welcome back. It looks like you finished your job. If you clear any other contracts, please be sure to come here and report it. Cool. No other jobs to do, so let's get to the Russell house. Yes, this is the Russell home and factory. This is my house. Wow, nice place. Professor Russell is here? No, I think he's in the workshop. Through this door. We should go and say hi then. Oh wait, he's upstairs. I forgot there was an upstairs part to this as well. I'm home, Grandpa. Okay, maybe this way. So this is the professor? Nice to, meet you. My name is Estelle Bright of the Bracer Guild. We actually can get your expert opinion on... Got it! I did it! It's finally complete! That's right, who's the man? I'm the man! Yes, I should start testing it at once! Whoa! What the hell? I'm sorry, Estelle. Grandpa kind of gets into a trance when he's working, and he doesn't really notice what's going on around him. I think he just finished up the device he's been working on for the past few days. I see. He really is something. Oh, he's something, alright. I'm so embarrassed. Grandpa! There are some people here who need to talk to you. Hmm? Oh, Tita, you've come at just the right time. I need your help with compiling the data from these tests. But Grandpa... This new invention will actually block a biosensor orbit's detection faculties. It emits a unique orbital force field that deflects the energy that a biosensor sends out when it scans. Oh, really? Yes, really. Since when do I overstate my own accomplishments? Now come on, we've got testing to do. Right! Professor Russell and Tita began working with some complex-looking equipment. Hey now. Never mind, Estelle. I think we should just let them be for a little while. Hey now, you with the black hair. Who, me? Who else? On the upstairs bookcase is a notebook titled Orbital Energy is Applied to Force Fields. Go get it. Go on, be quick about it. Alright. Wait, Joshua! Hey, young lady, you with the antenna hair. Antenna? Oh, no you didn't! Quit farting around and make me some coffee. Why should I have to make you coffee? I take it black, by the way. I want it clear as mud. You're not hearing a word I say. Fine, whatever. Yep, perfect. All set, Grandpa. Just as fast as ever. Oh. Where are Estelle and Joshua? Who? Come to think of it, I do vaguely recall a couple young folks. Murdoch sent along some fresh faces then, I presume. Grandpa? And so Estelle and Joshua inadvertently wound up as assistants in the experiment. After many small but relatively harmless explosions and some singeing of the eyebrows, the day gave way to evening. Sorry about all that. I just assumed you were both new employees at the central factory. So it's only natural that you wound up being drafted as assistants. This is a laughing matter. Especially since the only thing you had me helping with was making coffee. Girls can bang metal parts together too, old man. Relax, Estelle. We got some valuable experience out of the deal in the end. How often does one get to participate in startup tests on a brand new type of orbit, after all? Well now, you're a bright lad then, aren't you? Want to give up this bracer nonsense and start up in the field of orbital engineering? Grandpa? I'm really sorry, guys. I guess I got caught up in the moment too. You don't need to apologize, sweetie. But I thought the father of the Orbal Revolution was going to be some really amazing man. Not some old fart with attention deficit issues. Please, you're too kind. Moving on. So, I'm being paid a visit by the children of Cassius. That's quite the surprise. So you really do know our dad? Yes, from way back when. I've known him since his army days some 20 years ago. I've met him too. He had that really nice mustache, right? Well, I don't know if I'd call it nice so much as suspicious looking. But if he's known Dad for that long, it looks like we'll be safe in trusting you-know-what with Professor Russell after all. Yes, I have to agree. What are you talking about? And what was it you wanted my help with? Well, Estelle explained to the professor the whole sequence of events surrounding the Black Orbment. I see. Wow, a pitch black Orbment. Yes, most intriguing. And with no inscribed caliber, seems. Look at that frame, too. Professor also produced a cutting tool from his belt. Without a word, he pushed the blade's edge against the outer shell of the Orbment. Wait, what are you doing? It's a special alloy steel cutter. Just as I thought. Here, take a look. Okay. Estelle, Joshua, and Tita peered intently at the Black Orbment. Huh? There's not even a scratch! The frame is made from some type of metal that I've never before encountered. Opening it up for a closer look is going to be quite the task, I think. That's just crazy! If we can't find some way to open it, we'll be right back to square one. Well, I can certainly spend some time on trying. But first, I think that maybe we should put it under a measurement scan. A what now? That huge piece of equipment you saw when we were working on the experiment. It can gauge orbital energy activity in real time. You're making my head hurt with your techno-babble. Just tell me what using that thing will accomplish. To put it in layman's terms, it will allow us to see just what this Orbment does. We won't be able to draw any definitive conclusions just from measuring what kind of orbital activity is occurring, but it's a start. And that should give us a major clue. Indeed. So, without further ado, Grandpa, shouldn't we have lunch first? Sure. Estelle and Joshua, you're both welcome to join us. I can't promise it'll be anything special, but it sounds great to me. We'll even help with the prep. Alright, come on then. I've got a bit to do while lunch is prepared. No, I want to see it too. No fair working when I'm not around. My house, my rules. What is up with these two? Now I see where she gets it. Ahem. Now, if everyone is ready, let's get this started. Estelle, if you'll put the Orbment on the stand. Okay. Like this? Yes, thank you. Are you ready, Tita? All set. Good, good. Now commencing orbital force measurement test on the Black Orbment. Black Orbment? So that's going to be the official name after all? But using it officially is so boring and simple. Why not something cool like Dark Thingy of Impending Doom? No, simple is best. Anything longer than Black Orbment would just be annoying to say. Oh, look at her. She's all anxious to start. Oh. Alright, let's begin. Tita, if you'll activate the scanner, please. Okay. Output set at 45. Put all measuring equipment on standby. Roger. Done. All measuring equipment is calibrated. Okay, from here on out is the real deal. Since no direct input or output was detected, all we can do is measure how the central crystal circuits responds. Now, let's see just how much this contraption is really worth. You're sure in a good mood. And click. Neat, it's all glowing and stuff. I get it. It's putting a major strain on the crystal circuit. There. Tita, any readings? Yes, but they're kind of weird. The tectometer's needle's shaking like crazy. And now it's spinning around the dial. What? What's going on here? Joshua! It's the same black light from before. What? Grandpa, it won't take much more of this. We have to shut it down. Don't you dare. Just a little longer and we'll have something. Wait a second! All the lights in town are going out! Huh? What in... we have no choice then. Terminating the experiment. Oh, they're back on. Phew. Let's see the readout. Nothing. It didn't record anything. And the only thing that kept working was the scanner on which the black Orbment sat. But even that, well, as for everything else. Good. It looks like the experiment's finished. How's it outside? Fine. All the lights are back, like nothing happened. There's still a lot of people panicking, though. Okay. But just what the hell was all that? That was what I would dub the Orbal shutdown phenomenon. The what down? You mean how everything inside all the Orbments just stopped working at once? So the black Orbment did this? Yes, I've no doubt. But I would never have dared to guess that its effects would be so extensive. There's definitely more to this than I expected. Interesting. Most interesting indeed. Only you would think causing a blackout over an entire city is interesting. Professor! Ah, Murdoch. Just the man I wanted to see. The feeling is not mutual. Every single time you invent something, it means trouble for me. What the hell were you up to that would cause all the power downtown to go out? How rude. It's not even my fault this time. See that there? That's the black Orbment, and it caused this. Is that the... Oh, okay, I get it. If that's the root of this, then it's genuine extenuating circumstances. But it still means that this was your fault. Ah, nuts. You got me. That's it? They're just okay again? Are they always like this? This is so embarrassing. And so the first day in Zeiss kept everyone busy. Due to how late it was, Estelle and Joshua stayed at the lab for the night. Man, yesterday was such a crazy day. I was surprised enough at the town, but I really wasn't expecting to deal with anything like that. No kidding. But back on the subject of the black Orbment. It's much more powerful than I'd ever imagined possible. Yeah. What's the professor gonna do now that his equipment's gone all kerfloofy? Good morning, guys. Morning, Tita. Good morning. Quite a big day yesterday. No kidding. Did you guys sleep okay? Yep, like babies. Is the professor already up? Oh, he left for the central factory early this morning. He said something about how he was going to expose all the black Orbment secrets. Wow. Looks like getting roared at over and over by the factory chief yesterday didn't even put a dent in him. We really appreciate both of you taking the time just to look over something a couple of relative strangers brought to you. Oh, it's fine, really. Grandpa's investigating it out of pure curiosity more than anything. I should go to the factory myself once I'm done with breakfast. What do you plan to do? Naturally, we'll be coming with you. I want to know what's really going on with that Orbment too. Maybe there's something we can do to help. Yay! Did you come with me? Uh-oh, I almost forgot about the soup. Just a second, you two. I'll bring you breakfast as soon as I make sure it's edible and not on fire. I guess that's what that smell is. But man, what a cutie. I wish we could take her back with us to relent. She could be like a pet, cheering us up whenever we're feeling down. That's kind of creepy, Estelle. And now that we've had a good breakfast, off to the central factory. Before we do that, I'd like to check in at the guild. I think it might be best to report on what happened yesterday, just to be on the safe side. Well, okay. Hey, Tita, would you mind if we stop by there on our way? Sure, go ahead. Alright, day 2 in Zeiss. I wonder if there's a new Liberl news. Nope, that's the one we have. Let's talk to Kilika. First. No, nothing new. Good morning. That was some day yesterday, wasn't it? When you are ready, we'd like your full report on it. Business as usual, Kilika? I've heard the basics from the factory chief yesterday. But I'd like to expand that account with some first-hand details. Well, Joshua explained the details of the Black Orbment. Or the Blackout. I see. So the Orbment that was sent to Cassius in secret was in fact something dangerous. The Guild is very interested in these developments. We need to continue working with Professor Russell for the present. We thought you'd say that. When we have more information, we'll contact you immediately. What about now? Nope. Okay, there's not much to do other than to go up to the central factory. These moving stairs are cool. It's true that walking up and down stairs is a pain, so make the stairs move. Nice. Couldn't have said it better myself. I assume we're going to Murdoch's office, but maybe not. Maybe we're supposed to go to the, like one of the design labs or something. What's up, Murdoch? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Murdoch. Good morning, sir. What a day yesterday was. We've been getting complaints from the citizens all morning. Wow, that's rough. It's not like it was your fault or anything. We're very sorry, sir. We didn't mean to cause... No. Don't apologize. These kinds of things happen when you're doing science. It happens a little bit more often around Professor Russell's science, though. Speaking of the professor, has he come in already? Oh yes, he came in very early this morning, all fired up about something. He probably needs some assistance, so go up to his workshop and see him. It's on the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor. Let's go then. I've got a bad feeling about this. By the way, Tita. Sir? Please don't get the professor too excited. If we have a repeat of yesterday, we won't be able to do anything for a while. I understand, sir. I'll be careful. I like Murdoch. Murdoch has some of the best portraits in the entire arc. His relationship with Russell's a great one. I wish you get to see it more, but this one chapter is probably the best it ever is. Ah, another failure. Grandpa, we came to see if we could help. Ah, hello, Tita. And you two are here as well, I see. What can I say? We were worried. So, what are you working on? Well, as you can see, I'm trying to cut into the Black Orbment. But it hasn't been going very well. What seems to be the problem? Perhaps a demonstration is in order. And click. Whoa, what's that thing? It's a circular saw. It's made of a special alloy that can cut through basically anything. That ought to do it then. Or not. It stopped. I thought that might happen. It's on a smaller scale, but it's the same phenomenon as yesterday. It seems like the Black Orbment is blocking the functionality of the other Orbments, interfering with them in some way. And I doubt it was solely made for the purpose of killing the lights. Yeah. But Grandpa, doesn't the effect spread like it did last night? Yes, good thinking. This interference with nearby orbits seems to spread out, moving from orbit to orbit like chain lighting. I'd put the range at about 5 arch. But if there are no orbits powered or within that range, well, then that's where the effect stops. I see. That makes sense. However, even with that knowledge, there's no way to know why it causes machines to simply stop without getting a look inside it. It's very troubling. Is there any way to destroy the thing? Maybe with a good scream and a really hard whack? Don't be ridiculous. Didn't you see that big saw do exactly nothing to it just a moment ago? Well, yeah. Anyone thought of trying fire? Maybe it'd melt down in a blast furnace or something. If we did that, the insides of it would melt too. Oh yeah, well, it was worth a shot. Actually, it might work. Really? You know of a way to burn it open? No, that's not what I meant. Orbital power, that which drives orbits to work, can't be used for this problem. We'll have to find a way that doesn't rely on any orbital energy. Is there even such a thing? The combustion engine. It's a device that burns fuel to generate energy. The idea has been around for a long time, but it's very inefficient when compared to an Orbal engine. However, all you need to work on them are standard tools. Huh, neat. I get it. Fire is the key. But Grandpa, I've never seen one of them. I'm pretty certain that there's one under study in the Central Factory Workshop. Oh, you'll need to get fuel as well. Like oil or something? No, it's called gasoline. It's extremely flammable. There's likely a tank or canister of it stored in reserve. Yes, it should do the job. I'll start getting the tools ready. I'll help. Is there anything we can do? I mean, I can't do anything super technical like Tita can. Well, you could go and get the engine and gasoline. It's going to be heavy, but you bracers should be strong enough to move it. Okay, leave it to us. So, where would we find these? Let's see. Don't tell me that you've forgotten. I've forgotten. He just said not to say that. Estelle? If you look in the operations room, you could probably find them. What the heck is an operations room? It's a room with a bunch of Orbal computers. It's on the 5th floor. We store all kinds of information there for safekeeping. Wow, I didn't even know there was such a place. Then I leave it in your capable hands. Making coffee, fetching stuff. Well played, old man. Well played. Oh well, let's go find this operation rooms thingy. To the 5th floor then. Ah yes, this strange science known as combustion. Gasoline. And remember, everything works on Orbal energy. Our archaic form of technology is garbage to these people. Wow, check out this place. This has to be the operations room. Hey, you two. I haven't seen you before, so you mind telling me what business you have in here? My name's Travis, Senior Engineer and Supervisor. Nice to meet you. We're with the Bracer Guild. We're here at the request of Professor Russell, so if... Professor Russell? He's on trouble again, is he? Again, you really don't have much faith in him, do you? No, I mean, I realize that he's a genius. He was the one who developed the cable unit, after all. But even being acquainted with him results in no end of trouble. Tito, on the other hand, is an incredibly sweet girl. Just an all-around good kid. I get what you mean. But I don't think we have time to stand around talking in this case. We need to find where the Central Factory stores its equipment. Oh, is that what this is all about? In that case, go right ahead. I'll show you how it works. This cylindrical device is a type of computer. It's called the Capel. These days, they mostly get used to assist in airship navigation. But this one is equipped for the faster general purpose data processing in the world. It can be used for anything from calculating material density to information retrieval. Now for information retrieval, you have to use this front panel to select that mode. That will send the signal through the wiring and allow you to access the memory orbment. There's a quartz inside that trains a rapid light pulse on it, you see. Then it simply extracts the data you want. So I trust you know how it works now? Yep, no sweat. I'm impressed, Estelle. You're way better with modern technology than I am. Okay, so I lied. All that stuff went completely over my head. Well, here's the setup. You change the mode with this panel. I'm sure you'll figure it out in no time. It really isn't that hard. Alright, time for more reading. The Orbal Calculator, Cable System version 7.0. Copyright, Zai Central Factory, 1197-1202. Mode, Information Retrieval. Memory check, OK. Database accessed. Please input search term. Okay, so obviously we need to find where the engine and the gasoline is, but there's actually a ton of other stuff in this Capel. So, and it's good stuff too. It's very interesting things. So, second video in a row of a lot of reading. Here we go. Establishment. 1154 of the Septian calendar. Death of Professor C. Epstein in the sovereign state of Le Mans. In 1155, Professor A. Russell, this is our boy, Albert Russell is his name, returns to the Liberl Kingdom. He proposes the spread of Orbment technology to a chilly reception. 1157. Professor Russell forms a partnership with the Zeiss Clockmakers Union. Together they establish the Zeiss Engineering Factory, later renamed the Central Factory. In 1160, Edgar III, after an inspection of the factory, donates a large amount of money to further its research. Professor Russell becomes the first factory chief. In 1162, Edgar III dies, and Queen Alicia II assumes the throne. In 1164, construction is completed on the Lingwan Bridge, over in Rouen. In 1168, the first Orbal-powered airship, the Calatrava, is completed. 39 failed test flights before success was achieved. I wonder if that's the only place that ship's name is ever mentioned. It's not familiar to me. In 1173, the Zeiss Engineering Factory is renamed the Zeiss Central Factory and begins sharing technology with the Verne Company and Reinford Company. Verne would be the company in the Calvary Republic. Reinford Company, or Reinford Group, is the equivalent in the Erebonian Empire. So they're like the sort of sister factories. I mean, they don't have a formal relationship, they're competitors, but they play the same role in those countries that Zeiss does here in Liberl. 1175, the Liberl Orbalship Corporation is established, and the transit commuter airship, the Lind, is commissioned. Wow, so the Lind has been in commission for like almost 30 years. Transit commuter airship, the Cecilia, is commissioned in 1177. In 1178, factory airship, the Leibniz, is completed. That's one that I don't think you get to fly on in this game. Well, you really don't get to fly in this game anyway. Or in the next game. And I'm not sure which one it is. It might be the red airship. Cecilia's the green one, and the Lind is kind of like a grayish, greenish color. 1180, the Zeiss Central Factory is dismantled and reconstructed at its current site. The partially underground factory in the Chaldea Hills is completed. In 1182, Professor Russell resigns from his position as factory chief and is succeeded by Murdoch. In 1185, Natural Science and Medical Research divisions are founded. In 1187, the passenger ship Eterna sinks in Calvard waters. Crown Prince Judas dies. Maybe it's Judas. I don't think his name's ever been spoken in any localization voice acting. But yes, that is correct. I think that was mentioned somewhere in the Rouen region. I can't remember who brought it up. Maybe Niall said it in the conversation you have when Estelle and Joshua stay in his room. I think that's when it was anyway. I could be wrong. But when we were talking about Dunnan in Rouen, Dunnan's real high and, thinking like, oh, I'm your next king, because he's the queen's nephew. It's like, well, why would the queen's nephew think that he has right to the throne? Well, the answer is that the queen's son, Judas, died like 20 years ago, or 15 years ago. Exactly 15 years ago. So that's why there isn't a crown prince or princess in place right now. In 1190, the Orbal Network, a joint venture with the Epstein Foundation, is publicly announced. I know where that is. That would be with the foundation. They undoubtedly they have it set up to be running in where the foundation's headquartered in Le Mans, but another location on the continent is also breaking out with the Orbal Network. 1192, outbreak of the 100 Days War. The Central Factory is taken by the Erebonian army. Professor Russell develops patrol airships at Lyson Fortress, which are used to mount a highly effective counteroffensive, and soon become central to the Royal Army. In 1193, Liberl and Erebonia sign a peace accord. Orbment exports to the Erebonia Empire resume. In 1197, version 1.0 of the capable orbital computer is completed. In 1199, development commences on the high-speed cruiser, the Arcelle. In 1202, the Arcelle is completed, and flight tests commence. And that brings us to the current day. Alright, so you can read more about some of the stuff we already know about Orbments. General term for devices that draw orbital energy from septium. Invented 50 years ago by Professor C. Epstein, the clockwork mechanism inside causes a reaction between quartz, which in turn produces a variety of different phenomena. Their greatest advantages over combustion engines is that the orbital energy within them is gradually restored over time, and the variety of different phenomena they can produce. They are also much more economically efficient. Crystal circuits. or a quartz. An electrical circuit with a crystalline structure made from processed septium fragments, sepith. They serve as an energy source but also cause varied phenomena, which are only seen when they are placed inside of an orbment. Septium. A grouping of 7 gemstones found throughout the continent. Prized as jewels for eons, it was also regarded as a symbol of mystery. The invention of technology to refine and process septium fragments, too small to use as jewels, called sepith, and make them into quartz, resulted in a massive increase in the importance of septium as a resource across the continent. Well, this is interesting. So, I've run into problems in some future games in terms of like, there's one location where I'm like, there's a mine that exists, and I'm like, when was this mine established? Because it seems to predate the Orbal Revolution, even though, like you would think that septium, again, is not all that valuable until the Orbal Revolution happens, but at the same time, septium did have some value as jewels, so it was just, they were shiny rocks. Finding a shiny rock, come back to it every time. But yes, it was used as jewelry sometimes before people were like, holy shit, this thing is magic. Also, I find the wording there of prizes jewels for eons to be very weird. It's not eons, it was centuries. It was for like, well, a millennium, basically. This is for about 1200 years almost. Because the technology of the ancient civilization was also Orbal powered. But their Orbal powers, the artifact like what Dalmor had, a lot more advanced than our orbments that we have current day in the Trilogy universe. Alright, Orbal airships, or Orbalships, commonly regarded as the crowning achievement of Orbment technology. That's a very Liberlian twist on things in my opinion. Enables the power of flight by combining a flight engine to control gravity and an orbital engine to provide vast amounts of energy. Because of the need for high efficiency orbital energy transfer and the complexity of controlling the airship, many modern Orbal ships are equipped with highly capable orbital arithmetic logic units, like the Capel. Orbal ships less than 20 yards in length are simply called airships. Okay. And Orbal weaponry. Any firearm or cannon powered with Orbment technology. Currently the most common form of military weapon among many nations. With Orbal firearms, energy is focused in a helical path, helical? I don't know. Along the barrel, down to a tiny point, which then forces a large metal projectile outward at high velocity. These guns can fire more rounds than traditional gunpowder arms, and at adjustable levels of force. Orbal cannons, meanwhile, fire shells containing energy which explode on impact. Similar to Orbal guns, these have less recoil than gunpowder using cannons, and their power can be similarly adjusted. So, Ollie uses an Orbal gun, and Tita uses an Orbal cannon, as did Dawn of the Capitalist Sky Bandits. Tactical Orbments, or Battle Orbments. Orbments used to manipulate Orbal magics. Usually no larger than a pocket watch, so its internal workings are extremely minute and elegantly constructed. When quartz designed for tactical Orbment use is installed, it improves the abilities of its bearer. When this quartz synchronizes with the bearer, aka the resonance phenomena, the internal mechanisms take over the otherwise complex process that would be required to use magic, allowing just about anyone to use it in the form of Orbal arts. Furthermore, the arts the user is able to use can be changed depending on the combination of quartz inside. The wording here is really interesting, saying that that the resonance phenomenon takes over the complex process to do magic. Well, it's like, that language would suggest that magic would be possible without orbments. It's like, did they invent magic when the Orbal Revolution happened, or quote unquote reinvent if you want to wipe away the ancient civilization? And the answer seems to be that yeah, magic existed already and people knew of it. So yeah, there is that like RPG fantasy element of like, yeah, magic is real, there is magic, but it's not like people can just do magic. But now, thanks to our amazing little tactical orbments, we can now shoot fireballs and do windstorms and freeze things and whatnot. But yes, there is a... I'm sure it'll come up much, much later. But there is that idea that innately that Zemurians from all over the continent do have like the ability to intrinsically inside of them. And that maybe once upon a time they could do it a lot more easily without the use of orbments. Wouldn't that be something? Alright, so here are things that we're looking for. Let's look at, I'll do the last one first, because I don't know if the engine and the gasoline will kick me out of the computer once I read them. Alright, the Orbal Haulage Vehicle. Any wheeled vehicle powered by orbital energy, widely considered uncomfortable to ride and very limited in speed. Primarily used for transporting cargo. Orbment powered vehicle. Owner no data. Repository underground factory assist entrance. We've seen these things. They're just like the orange little things that you use to haul stuff. Entry combustion engine. A machine which generates usable energy by burning fuel within. Less efficient than its orbital counterpart due to issues with gaseous exhaust and noise pollution. Combustion engine, number owned 1, owner maintenance chief Gustav. I know that dude. And gasoline, a liquid derived from the purification of the naturally occurring hydrocarbon compound known as petroleum, used primarily as fuel for combustion engines and as an industrial solvent. Republic manufactured gasoline. Emergency stores, 20 mid-sized tanks. Repository, Orbit Manufacturing Factory. Yeah, so obviously, gasoline not really used in the Trilogy universe because why would you? It's Orbal energy. But it does note that this is Republic manufactured gasoline. In other words, it's from Calvert. So Calvert has a little bit of experience with, creating fossil fuels. Looks like you found what you were looking for. Wow, it's like a magic box or something. Yeah, computers are fancy. They're brand new. Orbital computers are really something. As I understand it, Professor Russell's teacher, Professor Epstein, was responsible for the original concept. But it was Professor Russell's talent that made an idea into reality. If only his presence of mind were on par with his intelligence. Well, Adios isn't one to bestow 2 blessings on one person. By the way, where can we find the guy who has one of those combustion engine thingies? The maintenance chief, right? Where is he? He's currently overseeing the airfield, so you'd have to go there to speak to him. Also, the gasoline is likely in Orbment manufacturing in the basement. Talk to the staff there. I'm sure they'll be happy to get it for you. Maintenance chief Gustav is down at the airfield working on a combustion engine, and the gasoline is in the basement Orbment manufacturing facility. Thanks, you've been a big help. Think nothing of it. Let me know if you need anything else. Hoo boy. That's a lot of minutes in that one room. Okay, so let's first talk to the people down in the basement. I think there's a girl named Faye, I believe her name is. I think she can help us. Excuse me. What's that? May I help you? So Joshua explained the task set to them by Professor Russell. You need gasoline? I think we have a tank of it back in storage somewhere. I'll check for you. Faye used the intercom. This is Faye. Got a request down here. We still have that tank of Calvert gasoline there in the warehouse, right? Can you send some down? Yeah, enough to carry. Thanks. They're sending some for you right now. Sending? Conveyor belt. Holy! There we are. Is this gasoline? So that's what sending it is. Neat, isn't it? The conveyor belt system isn't just for ordering goods. It's an entire network that connects the whole facility. Convenient. Professor Russell invented it. Originally, it was just a series of tubes for sending products back and forth. But the professor completely rebuilt the system into something a lot more useful. Of course, getting all of the infrastructure in place was a gigantic pain in the... I can only imagine. We have to be on our way. Thank you for your help. No problem. I don't know what you're using it for, but be careful with that gasoline. It has a tendency to fireball. Alright, gasoline tank. Now let's go track down the maintenance chief at the airfield. So Professor Russell's his former mentor, man who he studied under, Epstein, who's responsible for rediscovering Orbal energy, died a long time ago. Again, he died in 1154. And I couldn't tell you too much about Epstein. We'll learn a little bit more as the days go on. The games go on, really. But really, I don't know too much about him even now. Where the heck is this dude? I probably have to talk to this guy. Hi, need a flight? The westbound airship just departed a few moments ago. No, thank you. We don't need an airship right now. Actually, we need to talk to Gustav, was it? You mean the maintenance chief? He's not here at the moment. What do you mean, not here? He went to Lyson Fortress 2 or 3 days ago. Some kind of repair emergency on a military patrol ship. Lyson Fortress? As in the largest base in the Royal Army out by Lake Valeria? Up in the north part is ice? Wonderful. He won't be coming back from there anytime soon. So what do we do about the professor's request? I don't know anything about that, but the chief is actually on his way back. He just sent word to us. Oh, hey, airship. Speak of the devil. I can't remember if this thing has a name, but I believe it's like a factory-owned airship. It looks really similar to the Lind, obviously. They all kind of look similar. But this one's orange and has a crane on it. An orange airship? Hold the phone. Since when are public airships orange? No, that doesn't look like a regular public airship. The shape is wrong, and it's got work arms all over it. Now that you mention it... Oh, this is the Leibniz. Okay, I totally forgot. That's a central factory vessel, the Leibniz. It's the same model as the public transports, but it's had several modifications. It's used for large-scale maintenance and transport. Huh, a flying factory. Then the maintenance chief is on that airship? That's right. Now's your chance. You need to talk with him, no? We do. Thanks a lot. Yes, thank you. There he is. I can already see him. Saw him. There he is. This blue head. Bandana. What do you want? The Leibniz has a mountain of parts stored in her. It's dangerous, so stand clear. Actually, we're looking for someone. Isn't there a maintenance chief by the name of Gustav on the ship? What do you want with me? Oh, well that's convenient. Estelle explained that Professor Russell had asked them to find and borrow a combustion engine. Huh, you're running errands for Russell, are you? But a combustion engine, huh? Well, you've got good timing. I'll give you that. Huh? Hang on a second. Does he actually have one packed onto the ship? Looks like it. Here you go. It's a heavy beast though, so be careful. Receive combustion engine. Yeah, you weren't kidding. But we can still manage to carry it. Huh. You've got some spirit to you for such a young girl. I like it. Thanks. It's a pretty interesting little coincidence. That old fart wants this thing right after I got it back from the military. Huh? From the military? Yeah, this thing was on loan to them for a little while. They were using it for some kind of research. As a matter of fact, I only just got it back today. Huh, lucky for us. What's wrong? Oh, it's nothing. Now that we've got what we need, why don't we take it back to the professor? Sure thing. Thank you, Mr. Maintenance Chief. Sure. Give my regards to the old man. Before we go back to Russell, now we got the things that he needs. Also, how are we carrying this engine around? They never said how big the engine is. I seem to remember it being fairly sizable though, so the fact that we're carrying it's a little ridiculous. Ah, I had a feeling this would be the case. From Terry, we got product testing. Testers for new sneaker model wanted. Oh, this is a classic. Any bracers involved in a wide range of activities are welcome. If you think your legs are up to the task, come see me in the factory on the 4th floor of the central factory. All testers get a free pair of shoes, so act now. Ooh, this is right up Estelle's alley, I'll tell you what. So I know this is like a classic Trails quest, but it's very possible that they've been doing this in other series for a while now. I don't remember which floor this guy's on. Did it say? Was I just not paying attention? 4th floor. Cool. Turbo mode helps with that a little bit, the elevator. Pretty sure it's this guy. I finally managed to make a prototype. I've just been waiting for testers. All I can do in the meantime is some fine-tuning of the insole. Excuse me. We came because we saw your posting on the bulletin board. Oh, you're finally here. I was getting a little tired of waiting. My name's Terry. I'm a researcher here at the Central Factory. I'm Estelle, bracer in training. I'm Joshua. It's nice to meet you. Likewise. Getting straight to business, I have a task for you. Do your schedules allow for it? Sure, I don't see a problem with that. The request said you needed help with testing a new style of sinker. Could you give us a little more detail? Oh, certainly. But first, here. Received Alpha Strega. Is this your new kind of seeker? Yes, the Strega Corporation is conducting research on new projects to bring to market. This particular test requires you to wear these prototypes around to various places. Upon the successful completion of this test, all that will remain is to put them into production. I see. Hey, just a second there, buddy. Did you just say the Strega Corporation? Yes? So then, this new line of seekers? Yes, it's the Strega Corporation's newest product. Didn't I just say all this? Oh, great Idios. Thank you for bestowing upon me, us, this magnificent job. Are you alright? Why the sudden prayer? Don't mind her. Estelle's something of a seeker collector. More to the point, she pretty much adores the Strega brand once. Oh, so you might say that she has seeker mania then. I was just a little taken aback by her reaction. Estelle, would you snap out of it? I get that you're excited, but we have work to do. Yes, you are correct. Well, you certainly have spirit. A scary amount, in fact. So will you do the test? Please don't pray at me again. Yes, absolutely. See what I mean? It's alright. Please proceed. So we'll take on the job. But you want us to wear these shoes wherever we go? Yes, that's correct. From the Elmo Spa to the Wolf Fort, all the way to Sanctum Gate. And when you feel you've tested them out properly, bring them back to me. The layer between the sole and insole is my responsibility, so I have to see how it holds up. So you need us to report back when we have the chance. That, at least. Now, see if you can wear them out. Just leave it to me. If you'll excuse us. Oh, man. Estelle loves Stregas. She loves them. And I love that Xseed took it a step further and made one of her catchphrases in localization into Holy Stregas, even though that's totally not what she says in Japanese. It's just fun. Alright, so let me think about this. We got this one job to do. This job's a little complicated. Again, they love this quest. We'll be doing other quests in future games that are an homage to this one, where it's like, here's this thing, go test it out by walking around. They love it. So, this thing, we gotta go to a lot of places to test it. Do I have to wear it? I guess I do. Is it technically equipment? I'm not sure. Sure is. Okay, let's put that on Estelle. And what I have to do is I have to walk to different locations around in the Zeiss region. And there's actually a additional bracer point requirement where you walk back all the way to Erletten. I think you can totally walk out of the Caldia tunnel back into the Ruan region. You just can't walk out onto the highway. But yeah, so when I pick up next time, I'll have it all done. I'll have walked everywhere that they want you to go with this thing, and then we can just go back and talk to Terry, was his name, and give him the results, and then we can move on, give Russell the gasoline in the engine, and continue our experiments with the Black Orbment. See you guys in the next one.